worry, guys. The Shakeometer 5000 is still shaking away. So, hello, guys. We're on the 400 southbound heading into Toronto right now. It is 5:45. And this lane is slowing down right now. It is 5:45, so it's a little bit after the peak of rush hour. So hopefully traffic's not going to be too bad for us. But I've been doing this route, 400 southbound to 401 westbound, pretty regularly the last while. So we're going to kind of go through the way that I normally play this out. Now, if you're one of the what's going on with this right-hand lane there, but it's not moving. Anyways, if you're one of the lucky ones that your company in a big truck allows you to go on the 407, they give you a transponder, because big trucks need to have a transponder. You can't go by plate. Then you could just hop on the 407 right now, skip all this crap, and be on your merry way. Wouldn't that be nice? But instead we gotta go deeper into Toronto, hook on the 401 westbound, and work our way up through all the crazy traffic. So right now it is 3 lanes for us. These 2 left lanes go to 401 eastbound, and the 2 right lanes go to 401 westbound. So we're actually gonna mosey our way back over here. And I don't know, I've been burned in both of these lanes because traffic usually starts backing up. Like, we're already looking at brake lights here. I don't know, I usually end up being in the farthest right-hand lane. But then you see that there's 2 lanes coming in right now, and those continue to, what is it, Allen Road, I think? Which is basically the 400 south of the 401, which doesn't exist. It's called Allen Road, I think. No, one of these lanes dumps to Finch, and then it's Allen Road. Okay. Yeah, anyways, there's 2 lanes. 401 west beyond Renforth, 1 express lane closed. Right-hand lane and express is closed ahead. Okay. That'll be fun. But yeah, usually, yeah, we have 5 kilometers till the 401. That guy's merging over. I think I saw a signal. Yeah, so he's gonna take that lane. Yeah, usually traffic backs up in these 2 lanes going to 401 westbound. Are you? Oh, he just has his 4-ways on. That's weird. Anyways, these 2 lanes go to 401 westbound, and people usually rush up on the left and on the right and cut in at the very last minute. So I've been burned being in this lane before because all the traffic rushes up when it's not super backed up. They rush up and try to cut in front of any little gap they can. And it's the same with the left side. All the traffic that doesn't actually want to go to 401 eastbound ends up cutting in front. I have a feeling this guy wants this spot here, but I'm braking right now. Yeah, it actually seems that all traffic is backed up, all lanes right now. anyways, let's try to put some marker cars in the left-hand lane. We'll use that Sprinter van, and that light blue car that wanted in front of me is now in that lane, and I'm thinking he's going to want to merge over another lane. So we'll use the red car behind him. It's a, what is that, a Pontiac, I don't know, we'll call it a Pontiac Cavalier. They're all the same body style. So we'll use him as a marker car, and see which lane gets up there faster. Normally I like to use other trucks as the marker vehicles in other lanes, but if you look behind us, there isn't really any truck traffic. So I mean, there's a couple trucks up ahead that we could use as pseudo markers as well. Yeah, we'll use this straight truck as well, because he's pretty easy to spot. So far we're doing all right in this lane. Hello, marker vehicle. We're already passing. I'll be honest, this is flowing extremely well compared to what it normally is. Because usually it's first gear, stop and go, or low gear, kind of crawl. But I'm holding in a high range even. All right, now we're slowing down. Let's try third. Go for second. Oh yeah, smooth as silk. So with the sun at the west, setting in the west, it's casting a shadow of all the vehicles in front of me, and I'm using those vehicles. I'm looking at the shadows up ahead to see where the traffic is moving and where the flow is starting, and try to use my stopping distance to kind of keep up with the flow. So I mean, right now it's not really moving well, but it's going to start flowing a bit, and then it's stopping up ahead around those trucks in the left lane. So we'll take her slow here and try to eat up that stopping distance, or eat up that stop ahead of us so we can keep rolling. But everyone starts cutting into this space that I'm leaving, so it usually ends up sitting you back a little bit farther. Yeah, so I'm using the shadows again. Thank you, buddy. Give me more space. Yeah, this is very nice right now. So we're getting to the end where these lanes all split off from each other. So we're going to get a lot of traffic from this far right lane, or the right lane next to us. They're going to try to start merging over and taking this space, like this guy right here. That Hyundai says, no, I'm not cutting enough of the line off, so I'm going to move ahead farther. and plug up that lane for all the traffic trying to get through. Mind you, a lot of these cars are probably going to try to do the same thing up ahead farther. Just watch. And you can usually tell the ones that are looking to cut into this lane versus the ones that are looking to continue on. Like, I'm thinking this Volvo, he's going slow because he's eyeing up a spot that he can merge over into. I'm actually surprised no one has taken this gap yet. Oh, there's a truck behind us that's kind of plugging up that lane too. Oh, someone's definitely going to take this spot. But who? Huh. Oh, there's one van. See, I mean, it's rude to be cutting off at that point, but instead of taking all this space, or I'm at least expecting kind of people to cut it off, he decided to cut off this white van in front of us and make him brake. Yeah, there's one car, okay. Yeah, again, right at the last second. I've had people come up in this hashed out white area and try to cut in front too. And if you're feeling bored, they try to cut in front of you, you can make them eat the pylons, and then they're stuck sitting there until someone decides to let them in, I guess, even though they passed everyone, and everyone behind says, nah, you're not getting back into this lane. So, survived that part. There was only the one car that cut in front of us, which is shocking. But now, this lane that we're in right now exits the 401. But what happens here in the lane beside us on the left is everyone immediately tries to merge over left, and people are immediately trying to merge over right, so it creates a bit of a bottleneck up ahead here. And I don't want to be necessarily a cause of a bottleneck like that, so I'm going to hold this lane because we have a little bit of distance before we actually have to move over, and I'm going to try to wait for a spot that I'm not interrupting traffic necessarily. And this thing takes a while to build up momentum, so I don't feel too bad about holding up the right lane. But this right here is probably a good spot if this guy didn't cut it off. And we'll make our way over. Now I believe we need to make it over at least one more lane because the 409 dumps out of this lane, and I think another exit is the one beside it, so we actually eventually have to be in the left two lanes, but we'll make our way over there when the space is available. I'm actually eyeing up this space right here that this guy's merging into, but I'm too close to this guy, so I don't want to move over quite yet. Yeah, some guys, they'll merge over from there, immediately try to get, see, I probably should have taken that space now. But they'll go immediately from the 400 dumping onto the 401 and try to merge over as many lanes as possible, not worrying about how much traffic they're holding up behind them. And yeah, they'll make it over to one of the left two lanes over there, but one, you're holding up a bunch of traffic while you do that. And actually, that was the only point I was going to make. Usually these right 2 or 3 lanes go slower than the left 2 lanes, so yeah, kind of the earlier you can get over there, probably the better off you're going to be. But again, I don't want to screw up too much traffic doing so. All the time trying to cut over and gain some distance. And yeah, oh, is he gonna take this spot? No, he's not. What are you expecting? What are you doing? Some people, man. I should probably start actually kind of half forcing my way over a lane, because now we got merging traffic in here, and if I'm out of the way of this lane, that gives them more space to merge in. But traffic is stop and go there, and if I try to force my way over there now, I'm holding up this lane, and I'm also going to hold up that lane, and it's on an uphill, so I'll lose all sorts of momentum, and yeah, it'll just be all bad. So we have 500 meters to try to make it over at least one lane. Yeah, see, this dump truck's trying it as well. I probably got to put my signal on too. Yeah, okay. We'll try to actually force a spot over here. Kind of thinking that pickup truck is going to let us in, and it looks like he is. All right. Come on, keep rolling. Hopefully that didn't hold up too much traffic. It's okay, this guy's doing the same thing. This guy's probably going to do... Oh, he's actually taking the 409? Yeah, he's actually taking the 409. Cool. Actually, it wouldn't have been a bad idea to check the map to see how backed up the 401 is right now, because it said the 401 westbound is blocked. I forget what road it was, but I think we might actually have to deal with that traffic. But I mean, last time I checked the map, it was okay. Because the 409, you take the 409 and then come down on the 427. It's a little bit of extra distance, but usually there's not a lot of traffic holding you up there, so sometimes you can get ahead that way. But going westbound this time of hour, it's usually not as bad, and I kind of find it's not really worth it to do that. But in the mornings, when I'm going eastbound to the 400, I find that you can actually save a pretty reasonable amount of time by taking 427 north and then coming along the 409, because it skips the whole mixer section, is what I dub it, and dumps you directly into the lane that takes you up to 400 northbound. I've mentioned in my previous videos that this section up ahead here is called the mixer because express and collectors kind of merge together, and it's just a whole bunch of lanes, and traffic's always slow here. And if I do remember correctly, this lane exits off at the end of the mixer, well, halfway through-ish. So we need to eventually start moving our way over a lane. Actually, I'm wondering if... Did I put a marker truck in one of the left two lanes? Because I'm wondering how much faster that is actually moving. Okay, this guy is going to go for this spot here, but so is the guy behind him. Okay, come on. Yeah, that's right. start forcing our way over here. That silver pickup's been leaving a pretty good gap. Looking at this Dodge Ram, and he wants to move over too. I'll give him room to come in here. So you would have definitely been eyeing up the spot that I took. Quiet, fan, we don't need you on anymore. Yeah, and at some point we do need to merge over another lane, because actually eventually 2 lanes. I think this one dumps into Carling Ave or something like that, and then the next one beside us way up the road dumps into the 403/QEW, right? Yeah, wait, no, we're at 410. I don't know, one of those major highways. So that's a crappy pothole. So this red truck behind us, he's probably trying as best as he can to keep up the speed. So I know I'm kind of taking his following distance, but I don't think it's that much of a problem. Actually, this would be a pretty good spot here if that white vehicle weren't about to merge over. Now we'll hold this lane for a bit. Okay, 427 south. Yeah, okay, so this lane dumps onto the 427, not Carling. That was that Carling there? I don't know. Judging by his speed, he might be wanting over this lane, or he's taking the 427. There's lots of opportunity to merge over a lane when we need to, so I'm not going to rush things. And now we're, I guess, out of the mixer, kind of. So traffic will be moving fairly quickly. Yeah, okay, I was thinking Carling View Drive, this exit here, but it actually doesn't dump. One of these lanes don't dump off anymore. Somebody's radio sucks. I mean, we have 3 kilometers before this lane ends. Should have taken a spot behind this, and actually I might still do that. See what this Toyota does. Ooh, you're coming into my lane. Nice trade-off. Yeah. If it weren't for me playing the slower traffic keep right kind of rule, I probably should have merged into this lane a little bit sooner while there was a bigger gap. But I mean, he's back there, things are the way it is. Whether I merge then or now, it's the way it is. 403 West Collectors, 2 lanes closed at Eglinton. That is going to be a mess. Good thing we don't need to deal with that. Been keeping up with my saga of shakes and bumps and mishaps with this truck. I've been trying to track down what feels kind of like a driveline shake since February 2021, and it just started a few seconds ago. It started doing it. It's based off throttle, it seems. Like picking up, going up a hill, building up speed. I'm putting about 3/4 throttle input into it, and usually right about 1600 RPM it starts to, like, it's a little bit of a hop. I've had the driveline balanced, I've had the engine gone through a bunch of stuff, I've had both the rear ends gone through. The power divider is brand new. The rear housing is new this summer, but the diff itself is the same, but the diff was inspected and is fine. New transmission as well, new clutch, that didn't fix it. I don't know, it might be tires at this point, who knows. So at this point I can't afford to keep dumping money into it, trying to fire the parts cannon and have nothing stick, so I'm just kind of gonna deal with it until it decides to explode or something. I mean, there's not much else I can do. And then I also have some sort of injector shake, and that's, I think, likely a secondary issue. But when the truck's working really hard, I get a miss at idle. Like, it sounds like one of the injectors isn't quite firing. And when I'm going up a hill, climbing hard, and then shift to gear, like off the throttle, on the throttle again, it starts missing on one of the injectors. And I know it's not driveline or anything like that, because it shows up through the turbo pressure, and you can hear the turbo actually fluttering like one of the cylinders isn't firing. So I had the injectors replaced in February, and that didn't actually, it fixed the idle shake for a little bit, but then it came back again, and then I started having this injector cutout kind of shake happening. So I'm thinking one of the reman injectors isn't great, but we've been trying to track down fuel and anything else other than that, because injectors aren't supposed to be bad twice in a row, basically. So unless something in the engine, in the tune or something is killing injectors, I'm kind of at a loss for that too. And again, I can't keep firing the parts cannon and hoping something sticks. So at this point, I'm just kind of sit on it and try to not let it happen. But yeah, anyway, so this is the next section of the 401 westbound that I find kind of funny. That sign up there is deceiving, because it says it has a big no truck lane ends for that lane, which makes no sense, because it's 2 lanes. You can't not have a truck in both lanes. You can't not have a truck passing lane, basically. And then they add this HOV lane on the far right, but then they haven't changed the letter or the painted lines, because usually when a lane ends they put bigger dots on it versus the little skinny dots like that. And this lane, when you're first coming up to it and you don't know what you're getting into, it looks like this lane is about to take off into, I think that's here, Ontario, right? So everyone kind of panics and tries to merge their way over into the left lane and plugs up the only available car lane unless you're on the HOV. So yeah, sometimes I actually end up going faster in this lane, but it's all an uphill and I'm trying to keep momentum up, so I'm going below the speed I want to anyways. But yeah, these 2 lanes go through to express, same with the HOV, but the HOV ends. They are doing a bunch of construction up ahead here, and I've had luck in before based on how the construction is. Wow, the backup's starting all the way back here. Okay, if you take this Mavis Road exit right here, you get onto collectors, and it looks looks like it's going to get you farther, but back in the day it actually did, because depending on where they were in the construction, the collector's lane, because everything merges down into 3 lanes up ahead, the collector's lane gave you 2 lanes, and it, like basically like 4 or 5 lanes down to 2, and express was 3 lanes down to 1. So express here was backed up like crazy, and you could just sail on by in collectors, but then they kind of flip-flop things around. So now collectors is like 4 or 5 lanes down to 1 lane, and express is 3 lanes down to 2. So I actually kind of forgot to put a marker truck in where I would be in express, but we'll use, there's a red C-can way up there. We'll use him as an ideal marker vehicle, but we'll also use this black roll-tight B-train configuration guy and Amex, because we'll probably see him somewhere there too. It looks like collectors is moving faster right now, but you'll see when traffic starts backing up in collectors that it's actually, we're gonna pass all those marker trucks, I believe. I have come out even on the other side before, but usually these express lanes are faster. And because HOV lane ends into the middle lane there, I guess, the right lane here is the fastest lane through this whole rigmarole, so I almost always stick in this lane. I'm wondering if we can use one of these cars as a marker vehicle. Believe it or not, I am a fan of Challengers. I've always kind of wanted one since the redesign came out, not the original. Well, I mean, a 70 Challenger in Hemi Orange with a shaker on it. Oh, that's a dream car of mine. But the rehash new Challengers, what was it, 2013 or something, that they redid it and changed the rear tail light. I like the newer style of those, and that's kind of been, if I get a chance to buy one, yeah, I'll probably buy one. But at this point in my life, I don't have a reason to own one, because it's not a fast autocross car. It's not, I mean, it could be a fun track day car, but I've got enough track day cars as it is, and it's terrible on gas, so it wouldn't be great as a daily driver, even though my pickup truck is 20 liters per 100 kilometers, and that's not a great daily driver either. But the pickup truck is at least like functional and usable. Anyways, we're going to use this Challenger coming up right beside us as a marker vehicle. He's on his phone, to see who gets out first on the other end of this this whole rigmarole. Because again, that lane is deceiving. It looks like it's going faster, but you'll see when the HOV lane ends that all that traffic blowing up needs to get in somewhere, and it's going to hold up that lane. And again, you're looking at collectors and all these trucks, cars, vehicles flying by us. Like, it's not going to be any problem in the world. It's moving great. Should have been in collectors, right? Probably not. We'll find out though when we get up there. Even now, you look at the backup's already started on collectors there. So we have an Amex truck, I think, the black roll tight, and the red C-can. The red C-can is ideally where we would be in collectors. And I'm sure some lanes move faster than others, but I've noticed that that entire collectors area moves slower than this lane, so I've never recently bothered being in collectors and try to figure out which lane is the fastest in there. So I mean, if you're stuck on collectors, say you come down the 410 and you have to merge on collectors, well then just you're on your own. Just keep an eye on traffic, put marker vehicles in other lanes that you could be in, and see which one consistently gets you out faster on the other end. And I wasn't even paying attention, but we already passed the Challenger. Whoa, this guy, that's gonna cause some problems. Yeah, so this guy aside, this is gonna screw up the algorithms and stuff, because that's creating a heap of effort of traffic. Okay, how were you expecting that was gonna work? Nice. Okay, so I mean, that's a thing. I know that Autobahn truck showed up after our marker vehicles showed up, but we have two red C cans. I don't think those are the same red C cans, but you see that black roll tight, he's up there, and the Amex truck actually worked his way up in front of him. So we are about to pass our marker vehicles in collectors. Come on, find a gear. So yeah, ignore that slowdown in the middle lane right there. We are still ahead of our marker Challenger, who's probably way back there. That kind of skews the results of this particular day a little bit, but take my word, this lane is usually faster. Yeah, so you can see that middle lane, all this traffic in the HOV lane is now trying to merge over because that lane is ending. This lane just continues on. It is the middle lane of the 401 forever. So we don't necessarily have to worry about a lane ending into ours. It's only traffic merging from one of these slower lanes coming over into this lane, which I don't have a problem with, because it does actually even out the traffic flow a bit. Like there's no sense in just packing two lanes of traffic into one lane, whereas some of the overflow can come into empty spots in this lane. Yeah, I haven't seen that red C-can yet. He's probably in there somewhere, but we've well past that black roll tight. All those lanes of collectors have to merge into one right lane of the 401. And it kind of nerves me the way that they have it designed right now, is that you have all these lanes, like 1, 2, 3, maybe 4. I think another lane ends back there. So 4, 5, 6, 7 lanes merging into 3. And at the merge point, when everyone figures out where they're at, it's a giant uphill. So all the trucks, you can't get momentum back. It's just kind of whatever speed you were doing is the speed you're kind of stuck going up the hill. So it just adds to the backup. It's starting to hurt my forehead a bit, but oh, keep moving. I don't want to slow down. Yeah, see these guys, they're kind of evening the flow out by letting this truck over, because you have two lanes merging into one, and this gives a nice opportunity for the truck to move over. It doesn't really affect what I'm doing too much, but it kept all 3 of these lanes, I guess, moving. And yeah, see, now everyone's settled into what lane they want to be in. The bottleneck is done, so let's get up to speed. Oh wait, we're climbing a hill and can't actually get up to speed anymore. So if we actually get a point in the right lane to move over, because there's no sense being the slowest vehicle in the middle lane, you're just going to hold up traffic and screw things up, and people are going to pass you on the right. So after this car here, we're going to merge over into the right lane and dawdle along in the proper lane we're supposed to be in eventually. This guy moves over. There, so now this red vehicle, something or other, I don't know, is that a service truck or something? Anyways, he's able to build a little bit more momentum than I am, so he can take the front door. I don't care. That is a wonky vehicle. Yeah. And that bus was in the HOV lane, which actually might be one of the faster lanes in that whole rigmarole, but you can't take a truck in it, so I have no experience on really being in that lane and how much faster it is than anything else. But he's moving up fairly well. Anyways, this guy's empty, so I don't want to hold him up. That's why I'm in the right lane, not holding up the middle lane. Yeah. So basically, also that sign on the bridge there is no trucks in the left lane begins, and that used to be, these 3 lanes used to be over there, but they're rebuilding that, so now we're over here, but that sign hasn't moved. And I still think technically it applies to that lane there, that if you were in the lane beside us in Express and didn't merge out of the lane, you can still legally ride the left lane up until that sign. And after that sign, the $110 fine, getting pulled over, blah, 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 comes into effect. So you have that much room to mosey your way over into either the middle lane or the right lane at that point. But yeah, we're past that portion. That's usually one of the biggest bottlenecks on the 401. And I mean, we're still climbing a hill, so I can't get up to speed necessarily. I'm also trying to watch my temperatures, make sure I don't overheat the engine. I'm still only putting in like 3/4 throttle, like I'm not going full tilt, because that's no sense beating on the engine at this point, and traffic's not really letting us do that anyways. But yeah, it just kind of opens up a bit more here. Sometimes I've had it where the 407 dumps you off, it slows up traffic. Why is everyone getting in my lane? Alright, I could merge over here, but I think this lane is exiting right now. Yes, okay. Yeah, I've had it before where it starts backing up right around here. And if it does start backing up around here, I've found that the right lane flows through the best, though I haven't had it back up here in a while, so that might be outdated information at this point. Construction and lane changes and stuff always change around this area, and so does the traffic flow. But in this particular section here, I hold the right lane, and you're gonna see why in a second. This is a new addition to the 401 as of last Monday. It is, yeah, it's Wednesday, so a week and a half ago was my first experience when they did this, and it is expanded collectors lanes. Now, they've had collectors lanes open through the right lane here, so I've always taken the right lane anyways. So you'll see up ahead here, the left 2 lanes will go through Express, and then this single right lane goes off to collectors. And even back in the day, you got a couple was it even a couple kilometers of collectors? I don't know, but everyone starts freaking out at this sign here because it says, oh no, the 401 is merging off. You're gonna take an exit over here. So everyone tries to pile into the left 2 lanes and it holds up traffic there. Whereas this right lane actually flows right through and comes back in as the right lane. Then a few weeks ago, they screwed up the merges. Yeah, like look at this guy. Oh, the express, I need to be on the express. The right lane doesn't continue to the 401. Guess what, buddy? Yes, it does. And anyways, a couple weeks ago, they screwed up these merging in ramps, and this lane was actually even in speed to the left 2 lanes. But a week and a half ago, they opened up the collectors like mad, and it is awesome. So those left 2 lanes, they go through Express, and it stays 2 lanes. Whereas this one right lane that we were in, all of a sudden, at this point up here, I'm still trying to build up momentum, opens up to 3 lanes, 1 lane to 3 lanes, and there is so much less traffic when it's busy. Now mind you, this lane dumps to Trafalgar Road, that's fine, whatever, and you have 2 lanes merging in here, but none of these 3 lanes end until you're way up there. So we have 1 lane for us, 1 lane of 401, expanding into 3 lanes, and it's just wide open traffic. And the first day, the first Monday that I was on it last week, I was just doing my normal thing, kind of like, okay, yeah, we're gonna get some speed for a bit, and then we're gonna have to merge back under the 401, and it may be quicker being in the right lane, may not be, I don't know, I don't care. Actually, I do care a lot. That's kind of what keeps me entertained going through Toronto. But all of a sudden, came out to this, and it was just wide open and no traffic, and those 2 lanes of Express were just packed up solid. It was the greatest thing in the world. It made my day. Now mind you, it's already actually 6:30. This is pretty late for 6:30. But yeah, right now all these lanes are moving pretty nice. I believe that right lane does end up ahead here fairly soon, or it takes off in the exit. I mean, really, I could merge over again to be in the proper lane, because slower traffic keep left. I'm being undertaken right now. But I have a feeling it ends on that exit up ahead there. Oh, is it worth it to move over? I don't know. Another thing with this is that we are, as trucks, we are allowed to be in that left lane. So if this lane does slow down, you can scoot on over another lane and it's all good. As long as you're not holding up traffic too much. Like if you kill all your momentum, then yeah, you're a dink. Yeah, okay, so this right lane does take off to the exit there. And then again, collectors, the lanes to be in right now at this section, at this moment in time, before they screw it up with construction all over again. These 2 lanes of collectors, I believe they continue on as the right 2 lanes of the 401, and then those 2 lanes of Express that everyone's all plugged up in dumps down to 1 lane. Yep, the left lane ends right there. So look at all this traffic being all slow and stuff. Suckers! So I can't see this guy's mirrors, so he's gonna have a fun time with that. Gotta watch out for this guy. Yeah, anyways, that is the newly updated how I get through Toronto. Look at this guy trying to, holy, oh my God, you're an idiot. That was stupid. That was one of the stupidest moves I've seen all day. Anyways, that is my way of making it through 400 South to 401 West, because you can't take the 407 in a truck without a transponder and paying a bunch of money. That is how I get through Toronto nowadays. As time progresses week by week, some of this express lanes, they're gonna open it up or close them down or change where traffic goes and stuff, so your results may vary, but as of right now, that's how I found the best way to get through Toronto right now. So at this point, it's just these 3 lanes continue all the way on to like Kitchener or something, then they got a bunch of construction there too. And it's a bunch of climbing hills and stuff, so it's pretty slow going and it's dealing with a lot of traffic, but I'm gonna leave this video at that and probably catch you guys at the next one. Cool.